Hello, welcome to Cardboard and Plastic. Today's video, got some cards in the mail. You can see some of them right there. So I'm going to go over my mail week. And also, John Mangini was talking and wanted kind of a video response. And I'll give it as I go through the cards that I got about why do we talk so negatively about our cards? Why do we go over the condition of them, point it out? And a lot of people, they do, right? They get cards and it's almost like they need to apologize for having a low grade card. So I'll go a little bit over that. So in the background, I got two cards that you can see in slabs from Fanatics Collect. So what I did was, I was looking for these cards on eBay. They don't pop up very often. And a lot of them are just kind of like buy it nows that are just really high prices. And I went to Fanatics Collect to kind of look at some of their auctions, and they had a bunch of these cards, and I think they had about 25 to 30 of them, and I put bids on every single one that I wanted. There's a few that had like corners cut off that I didn't want to deal with, or creases through the faces, but I put bids on almost every single one, and those are the two that I ended up winning for the prices. Now, I do not like to get involved in bidding wars. I like to just, here's my top offer, and then I wait for the email to say, did I win or did I lose, right? That's how I approach all the auctions, even on eBay. I had one card I really wanted. It was the 2011 Paul Goldschmidt Topps Update Target Red. Not a lot of them out there. And I bid up to 148, and it sold for 150 at the last second. Somebody bidded that up. So, but I wasn't going to get involved there because, like, how far were they willing to go, right? Would they go 250, right? So a lot of times, right, it's just one person you're bidding against, driving up the prices of these cards. So this card, I put a maximum bid of $45 on. And I ended up getting this for $23. By the way, it's not $23. It's stupid with these Fanatics Collected, these auction houses. They have the buyer's premium. Let's just bid on the price of the card, right? You can deal with whatever money you're going to give the seller, right? We don't need buyer's premiums. It's freaking stupid. Not only that, right? To get the cards back, right? I could have skipped sales tax. I could have kept them in my vault at Fanatics Collect, which is stupid. I want my cards back. And I also had to pay a 2.9% credit card fee. Right? You're not getting enough money, Fanatics. I got to give you some more. I'm not going to give my bank account information. So this is one of the cards I got. It was $23, $27 with a buyer's premium, which is an absolute steal for this card. If you don't know the set, I've been hiding labels on you. It's the 1933 Tattoo Orbit. Now, this is like a gum card. By the way, 1933 cards there's some awesome sets, right? I mean, there's not a lot of sets in the 30s, but 1933, well, it has the Gaudi set, right? Because it has the Babe Ruth, right? It's iconic that those cards in that set. There's also a 1933 DeLong. Now, that got very popular recently, and I think it got popular, too, because of the Lou Gehrig, right? If it didn't have the Lou Gehrig, I think the 1933 DeLong, the cards would be much cheaper, even for the Hall of Famers. Sometimes a big card pops up that set. There's two other sets that people don't know much about. The Tattoo Orbit, and also I believe it's the George C. Miller, like a toffee card that was made in 1933 as well. But they don't have the Ruth, the Gehrig, right? So people don't know much about these sets. Now, okay, we could point out the flaws, right? You can see the flaws, right? I don't need to point those out. Beautiful color on this card, though. The one thing that does drive me crazy, even crazier than having little stains in the card, is this. Oh, come on. Nope. When they slabbed up this card, I thought I could get this home and just kind of knock it back into place. This is the way they slabbed it. It is in tight, right? So it is like at a 5-degree angle, right? We pay companies to frame our cards, and this is how they treat the cards. I am going to be doing SGC submission. I'm going to contact them and ask them, like, can you, like, put this in a slab the correct way? I don't like to see my card just off at an angle. And that is the way they, it didn't move over time. That is the way they slabbed it. Just gross. The second card I got, and kind of funny, the only 2 cards I got were Herman's, right? So I got Babe Herman and Billy Herman, and he's a Hall of Famer. So this card, I mean, just gorgeous, right? From 1933. Like, come on. And because this Hall of Famer, right? I mean, that was $23 and $145. I think it was like $174 after the buyer's premium. But with Babe Herman, I mean, a .324 career hitter. I think he's one of 6 players that hit for the cycle 3 times, right? So, I mean, a great player, right? But, you know, not a Hall of Famer. So you can get cards like that, but people just don't want those cards, right? They want the Hall of Famers. And I'm kind of like that as well. But this is like a set, right? If I can even get the commons, I'd love the commons. There's just not many of these. I think like Pop Reports, I mean, there's like under 80 in PSA and SGC slabs for these. Not a lot of people know about the set. And I definitely wanted to get a couple of cards from that set before people, like, if this set gets pumped just a little bit, there's not many cards for sale. Those things just go quickly and you can have all those cards double in price. Now, the other thing that I bought was a complete set, and I'll kind of show you here. I bought, well, this is what I had before. This is how many 1954 Redman tobacco cards I have. Like, I have about 20 of the set, and the set has 50, right? So it's like 40% of the way done. And what I was looking for was the Willie Mays, the Yogi Berra, the Roy Campanella, right? The big Hall of Famers. And just like a Willie Mays in a 1 was $300. I'm like, And somebody had the complete set. And I bought the complete set. It was missing the red Shandings, which I already had. And it was also missing another player. So there's like a player in the set in the National League that, I forgot the name, but like there's the card number 17 or whatever. There's 2 different 17s, right? So there's only one of the 17s that I have in there. So that's the only card I actually need left for the entire set now. It's just one card. But like these cards are not in great condition. Now that's another thing where, you know, sometimes just having the card is awesome, right? Right? Creases. Some of these are like really bad. One I was kind of disappointed, right? The Eddie Matthews. Actually, on the back, you can tell somebody wrote a number on it, right? So these weren't perfect, but the reason I bought the set was typically when you have a set like this, the commons are in great condition. By the way, can we call these commons? This right here, these were all the all-stars of the day, right? I mean, these are like the Ronald Acuñas, right? The, what are some other like Hall of Famers that probably nobody's going to know about, right? They're not going to make the Hall of Fame in a few years, right? I mean, these are the big stars of the day. But, I mean, I guess they're commons. But typically these will be in the best condition. And then as you go through, right, the top tier Hall of Famers in sets that you buy typically are like in worse condition. So I'll go through the other ones. So these ones, there's little wrinkles and stuff, but they're primarily in really nice shape. The Mini Minoso. We got the Scooter. Monty Irvin. And Duke Snider. Now, these cards are going to stay forever home in these card savers. However, I have 3 more cards, and I'm going to grade these. 4 more cards. Now, with these cards, oh no, I'll show you, before I show you the big cards, I'll show you a couple. These are other cards I got. Unfortunately, I already had this, and I bought it again. So it's a blue back for the 1951 top set. And then I bought these, I already had these, but I don't have, okay, so do you see the back with this, right? It's like white, and this is like kind of like this cardboard back here. I already had these cards with the white back. By the way, the blue backs don't have this, right? There's not a blue back, I don't believe, that has this type of back. But with these cards here, I had these in white backs there, so now I'm putting together the other back there. So I'm going to have 2 sets of those things eventually. But with cards like this, they are protected. These top loaders, right, for the cards, I mean, it's pretty stable. I can throw this card around, right? I could probably run it over with my car. It would be fine. The problem is like with these cards, like they could bend a little bit, right? Even with top loaders, the bigger top loaders with these things, they're pretty flimsy, right? And plus, right, it doesn't present the card like amazingly, right? But some of the higher graded Hall of Famers, I am going to get graded, especially if the condition, they don't have any creases, if they can get a 3, a 4, 5, 6, right? It's worth my $15 to grade the cards. So I can get them in a nice slab, and I could always trade them or buy a lower condition and then add to my collection more and more. And this is kind of what I do with my collection. I don't put money into my collection. If I need cards, I sell cards, right? So I'll show you the cards I will grade. This is a beautiful Warren Spahn. I do have another Warren Spahn. For the, I believe, 1953. And that one I'm not grading because it has a little paper loss, right, at the top of the card. I know what it would grade, right? That card, though, will get a decent grade. We got a beautiful Roy Campanella. I mean, this orange is just gorgeous. It kind of like puzzled me, right? When I looked at the person set there, it's like, okay, like your Campanella, your Spahn, your Yogi Berra, they look amazing. But then, like, some of your cards just, like, had creases all over the place, right? So, but this is really, I mean, just gorgeous examples. Now, these are real cards. You can tell the fakes. They have the white backs. They have the reprint thing on the back. These are real. If you handle these, you touch these, just smell them. You know if they're real or not. Now, if you ever see a complete set of these and you only see the front of the cards and they all look sharp and the seller doesn't show the back of the cards, do not buy it. Stay away unless you can see the back of the cards because that's probably a reprint set. And then the last card, and this is the card, right, It's like, okay, I spent a lot of money on this, right? And really, because I of these bigger cards, and I was just like, okay, please no creases, no creases, and no creases. This is a gorgeous 54 Redman Willie Mays. Now, it's not going to grade super high, and I saw this there. There's a little corner damage, right? But there's no creases or wrinkles through this card. In a 1, people were paying, with the tab, like $300 for this card, right? So this card, well worth the grading fee. And, right, so I'm expecting like a 3.5 and like 4 to 5s, the way that SGC is grading right now for those cards. And I will submit those to SGC. And the reason, too, is those cards have no wrinkles, no creases. This card does have like a wrinkle crease, but it's a thinner card, and it's just like in this flimsy card saver. Not a great way to present this card for this T202. So I'm going to be sending an SGC order in just to get those cards, and it will protect those cards a lot better. And really with the slabs too, right? Like with the card savers, right? If I slabbed up the whole collection, right? Like this is like half the set. So the full set would be about like this thick, which is not bad. And if I have a couple of graded cards, right? I mean, but if I grade the whole set, like I would have a tower of cards. But having just a few graded cards, I could just keep with the set in the boxes, and it won't hurt anything. So let me know in the comments, do you have any of those Tattoo Orbit cards? If you don't, I'm telling you, pick one of those up. They are really pretty. I mean, the first time I got like the diamond stars, things like that, like I like the colors more on those Tattoo Orbit. They're really kind of sharp cards. So I'll have an SGC order coming up. I am not buying for a little bit. I'm actually selling and re-energizing my eBay account, getting more money in there. I have a couple of cards that I'm definitely going to eyeball. And I do want to try to just get some of my red back, blue back sets complete, just to try to get those done with so I can move on to some other projects. So, thank you for watching as always. Have a great day, and keep on collecting.